If you're living in CBD or any major cities across Australia, and if you are thinking about getting into property investing, this episode, next 10 minutes, is going to be for you. Today, we have got Mahesh Sawan, who is working in IT. He's an architect. We are going to talk about his mindset, that why he chose to start investment journey while living in Melbourne CBD. Mindset you need to start investing even if you're renting anywhere you want. This is also called rent vesting. Let's deep dive into it. You are doing quite interesting stuff wherein you have chosen to live in Melbourne CBD yourself, and then you have started investing in properties across Australia. Your first investment property where you have invested is in Queensland. And the question is, where did this thought of start investing into properties came from at the first place?
For that, Rocky, I would like to just give a background. If I have to give a background, it's been around 8 years I have been staying in CBD, and this is what I like it. Staying in the CBD, it suits my lifestyle because I work in CBD. My work is just go by walk and come back. That saves my a lot of time to do my extra activities during the day. That's why I prefer to stay in the CBD. Then now it has been already quite a long time, and then I wanted to get started into an investment journey. And like, I'm a very frugal investor. I look for a value in each and every investment. And for that, then I started research. Then as a part of research, then I found out like what I can afford. Then that's how I come across the idea of investing in interstate. And that's how I went ahead with investing in regional areas.
Sure. Perfect. Where did this trigger in you that you need to go interstate? You could have purchased somewhere around in Melbourne itself, because you have purchased a property for about $500,000. There are opportunities around you, if not immediately in CBD. In fact, in CBD as well, you could have purchased an apartment for yourself as an investment, or 30-40 kilometers outside, you could have purchased a newer house and land packages as well, or established properties around you. What was the need of you going all that far to Queensland or any other regional areas? That is what we want to know from you.
Yeah, I would answer this question in two parts. One would be why I didn't invest in CBD, and the second part would be why did I invest into the areas around the Melbourne where the most of the house and land packages are getting sold. The first thing about CBD is, historically I did some data analysis and find out that apartment does not appreciate in the value. I myself looked at my apartment which I am renting, which has been sold in 2002 and 2019 at the same price. And that has really shocked me, and I was like thinking, what the hell? Then I did again research, is there something wrong with this particular location or not, and all. But then I come across this particular scenario of apartments is not appreciating is same across all the Australian capital cities. Then that thought brought me to stay away from apartment. Then the second part was like, can I invest near the Melbourne and all the new properties where the house and land packages? The first thing was I did my numbers running, and then I found out the rental yield was not helping me to have a good cash flow, and I don't want any property to be negatively geared much more. I was happy to have a couple of $1,000s, but not more than that. That was another thing. And the third part was the land sizes. Another thing on the Melbourne, we're not getting the big land sizes. That was another thing. And then the builders were not finishing up on time. There were many thoughts were coming, and I was keenly interested into the buying the property which was already established and with a better rental yield, so that I don't need to put much money from the pocket.
Yep.
And again, the one thing was on budget.
And only if you're comfortable sharing with the audience, what was the kind of borrowing you had, and how you chopped it into pieces to build up your own strategy? Because somebody working in IT, they could have some good borrowing as well. How did you decide that you want to spend this amount of money in your first investment property, this is what you're expecting. If you could just paint a picture about it.
If I have to give our borrowing capacity combined, me and my wife, it was around 2 million when we did the first, went for a pre-approval.
Wow.
Then after that, we decided like what would be the best price to get it, you know. And how did we come up with the best price is totally depends upon on the rental yield. And when we did a little bit of analysis and along with the running numbers, we found out that the price around what we bought, which is 510, and the rental yield which we were getting, that's how we come up the number. I always go back on the finding out how much money in yearly to have that property with me, how much money I need to spend. That's the first thought I do. After that, I look into the other things because already the location part and suburb selection is already done. Now my job is to finding out the properties matching my criteria, and the other thing is the budget.
Perfect, perfect. And Mahesh, from the conversation we are having right now, it appears that you are already on top of the things. Where do you think Realta Buyers Agency added any value to your journey of buying your first investment property in Australia? Why did you need to hire them at first place?
Yeah. The first thing is like property buying as an investment property buying, you need to be very careful. What I think, it comes from first thing is your strategy. The second part is your suburb selection. And the third one is a property selection. And the fourth one comes in a negotiation. In all these fields, busy job, I need someone who can help me in this particular journey, That's how I started looking for buyers agencies, and then through the social media, I got connected with Realta, and then my journey started with them. And as a part of journey, they have taken me through what are the areas they would be looking for the property, and took my input also on that. And as a part of collaboration, we come up with a certain set of list of suburbs. And after that, they started looking into the properties, and then after that, they used to, as soon as any opportunity they see in the market, they used to send me the detailed report on that one. And that report used to have all the things which I need to look, and what are the things I need to be very careful, and what are the things I can like not give that much attention. And after that, they used to give me a chart or a table, would give me what is my holding cost per year for this property. And that used to be very easy for me to make a decision to go ahead with the offer or not.
Perfect. Now, the next question comes in. There are so many of the buyers agencies out there, and thankfully you have seen us on social media. Looks like that we are doing good. So any tips, because you have used a buyer's agency for the first time, any tips for anyone who is looking at this video that how they should go about choosing a buyer's agency? We'll leave aside Realta, but in general, how would you advise? There are so many of them to choose the best for themselves.
I would see the first thing is you should talk to the people. First thing is you should feel comfortable with them and how they approach the questions which you ask. Are they giving the full-fledged real answer or not, or they are just playing the gimmicks of property market? First thing is, another thing is you need to understand how the question is. Are they giving you that gimmick words, or are they trying to explain in your questions in your plain layman's language, which you can understand? The second part would be, I would like to go with the buyers agents which are boutique, where you will get one-to-one service. Other thing is like your buyer agency partner needs to be available at any point of the day whenever you have a question, because the property questions comes to your mind when you are finished your job and at night you're just watching a Netflix and you are having a discussion with your family and then come up with some questions, and you need to have that an opportunity straight away dial to your partner, buyer's agency partner, and tell, I have this question and we are discussing, can you please brief me on this one? These were the points which I thought makes more sense to go ahead with if you find a buyer agency.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, Mahesh, this could be motivational to someone who is looking at this video. where did this thought of starting the investment journey after 8 years came from?
Yeah. Like, first of all, like, I was not much into investing. Okay. But after spending considerable amount of time in Australia, then I started to realize now I need to make my life here. Then I started to look into an investment options. What could be the best investment options? Then, like, I myself know a lot about trading shares and even in crypto and all. But the property, what I thought is a good option, because you're just putting your 10 to 12% of money from your pocket, and then 90% bank is lending to you. In hypothetical scenario, consider your money, a property prices gets doubled in 10 to 12 years. If you consider 10 years, and your 10% is getting doubled every year. If we apply 22, and we will get the CAGR, the percentage of growth which you are having with your money. And the other thing is, you don't need to worry about the volatility of the market. You will never be going to see that the housing market is crashing by 20%, but there is a high likely chance that the stock market can crash in 20% in the next 1 hour also. The peace of mind and investing with borrowed money, that's the two things which are motivated to invest into the property.
Perfect. So quite inspiring, because I'm actually hearing it from the first time as well from you, that you have been investing into crypto shares, and then you have decided to get into the properties because of the risk structure. What you're getting into properties is safer than the crypto and shares. That is quite nice, man. So you still have some borrowing left. What is your plan from here? Are you thinking about getting more investment properties? Where are you going to take your next steps? And are you feeling confident after buying your first investment property? Anything changed in your life after owning first investment property? Sorry for the long question.
Yeah, no worries. After buying the first property, I'm feeling more confident now, and I'm feeling like I can go ahead now. I can do a couple of more deals, and on buying the couple of new properties, like, we are just sorting out our finances, getting the things ready, and probably in the next 1 month we would be in the market to looking for a next opportunity to invest.
What triggered you to start investing when the interest rates are at a peak? Because common man, they are thinking about the interest rates are so high. Once they will come down, I will start investing. What triggered you? How you manage your mindset here?
For this, I go back to my stock market analogies. Where there is a fear in the market, it's the right time to buy. When there is a lot of greed in the market, just stay away from the market. That's why, this is the historically highest interest rate in the last, I would say, 1.5 decades. Looking like from my little bit of understanding of economy and all, I don't see that the going up and then the interest rates are going to go up by quite more. It might go up, but it would be more maximum 50 basis point. That's why I think that this is the best time to get into the market. And once the interest rates coming down, that's the time would be to just see and enjoy the growth of the properties.
Thank you for your valuable time and your valuable insights, as well as someone living in Melbourne CBD and buying properties across interstate with so much of knowledge. Thank you for your time, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Thanks, Rocky. Thanks for having me. Have a great rest of your day.